and you start undermining the head of the house, who is your father. So whatsoever is the situation, our leader is Salva Kiir Mayardit to lead this country, and as we are aware, as we are preparing for the election next year, my message to you to carry to the states as you go back, that it has been our considered opinion in this room that there is none other than Kiir Mayardit to lead this country in 2026 election. It is a message for you to take back home. You may differ in opinion, but this is a reality and it is a fact. He is the leader and the head of this country. Comrade Minister, I must really congratulate the partners to the RXS who signed this agreement in 2018, which created the unity government of the Republic of South Sudan. There is no opposition. We have various parties in the government, and none of them is an opposition. The fact that others may choose for themselves that I am an opposition, it is an individual decision. Because no opposition party can be a member of the cabinet. If you are an opposition, you wait for your opportunity to come later when you get the power, and then you become a government. But as of our situation in the Republic of South Sudan, under the access, we all belong to one government, the unity government of the Republic of South Sudan. We may have some here and there, but we are moving ahead. And nothing will obstruct us. Having said that, indeed, it is a great honor to stand before you today at this national conference of combating hate speech and strengthening social cohesion, held under the timely and thoughtful theme beyond the hateful divides. Allow me to begin by thanking journalists for human rights, Mr. Aboy, for your ever-continued efforts, always thinking of how to bring Southerners together, as you have done today. We say congratulations. And not also forgetting those people who are going to make our life very comfortable. I think we have delayed for taking the tea, but I'm sure there are people looking behind there to make sure we have tea, we have land, and we have everything. And this is done through our partners from the Canadian Embassy. We are grateful and thankful for your contribution. Allow me to begin by thanking journalists for human rights and the media authority for organizing this gathering. Your commitment to strengthening our national response to hate speech, misinformation, and digital harm is not only appreciated, it is essential. If we appreciate, then we appreciate and it vanishes away. But when we say it is essential, it must run in our blood and in our veins. We must maintain that. South Sudan is at a defining moment in its transition. Our institutions are growing, our policies are maturing, and our people, especially the youth, are more digitally connected than ever before. With this connectivity comes both opportunity and vulnerability. Every day we see how misinformation fuels anxiety. Heavy speech deepens community divides, and reckless content outlined can endanger lives. The digital space is powerful, but without responsibilities, it becomes a dangerous weapon. Let us have that in our minds. It is our collective duty to ensure that it becomes a tool for peace, education, and unity. Our work in Parliament, in your Parliament, is not my Parliament. I only speak on its behalf, otherwise it is your Parliament. And I'm saying it is yours because I am also appealing that has come 2026. Don't forget, who are we and who are you and where are we going? As many of you know, cyber security bill and computer misuse was recently passed in its final reading by the National Legislative Assembly. This is a major milestone not only for the ICT sector, but for the entire nation. We have been talking here a lot about the social media and what our social media, our friends from abroad, posting all those negative things. By the passing of this bill, nobody is going to escape it, whether you are in South Sudan or you are abroad. We are grateful that our media authority today has the equipment to detect wherever wrong messages are coming from, whether domestically or internationally. They were only waiting for this bill to be passed, which has now been passed. So please, advise those who are misleading people and misguiding people that the law is now out. Let them be very careful. Because if they fall into the trap, they should not blame anybody but themselves. Because we have told them. And after this, we are actually moving even up to the states to enlighten the people what does the cyber crime and computer misuse mean. So that everybody knows what are the contents of this bill. This bill is not designed to silence voices of people. On the contrary, it opens the door wide for every citizen in this country to express his or her opinion openly, provided that he or she does not interfere with the right of others. You are free to talk, but make sure you are not interfering with the rights of others. And if you do so, that will be at your own risk. Instead, it is to build upon three pillars. One, protection, securing citizens, communities, and institutions from digital harm. This digital harm is very important for us to know because of the artificial intelligence. We are aware that there are techniques today which can imitate my voice, which can imitate my actions to show that we are fighting or we are doing this, whereas in reality, that action is not there. We must be very careful of that, and the law of the cyber crime is going to take charge of that. Number two is accountability, ensuring responsible use of online records. Use the online, but use it responsibly. Be responsible. Freedom with responsibility, upholding rights while preventing abuse. If you keep yourself to these 3 points above, you are free to say whatever you want. During the bill's development, we engage widely with journalists, ICT experts, academia, government agencies, and development partners. Many of you in this room contributed meaningfully to that process, and I want to thank you for that. This bill has not come just as the work of the committee. Everybody was consulted and they put their input. Your input shaped the final product of the cyber crime in the computer misuse bill 2025. Your concerns guided key amendments. Your partnership ensured balance, fairness, and inclusiveness. This is how lawmaking should be, particularly consultative and responsible. The role of every South Sudanese, ladies and gentlemen, is to combat hate speech. It's not only a legal obligation, it is a moral one, a human one. A government cannot defeat hate speech alone. Don't take it to be the responsibility of the Ministry of Information. You must take part in it so that you eliminate all those evils of the social media. A government cannot defeat hate speech alone. A law cannot defeat itself alone, but with your collective responsibility and your participation, ensure that you don't allow room for false information. Even the judiciary, we have the judges, we have the prosecutors and so on. If we say let the court deal with it alone, the court even will not finish it. Because the court will be waiting who has come forward with a case. لو ما في زول شعره بلاغ في المحكمة حتى القضاء ما هيعملوا أي حاجة. عشان كده دي مسؤوليتنا جميعا إنه نتعاون مع بعض مع الشرطة مع المحققين and so on. It requires a unified national effort. Communities must reject toxic narratives. There are those who qualify always to produce toxic things that agitate people to hate one another. We should fight that from the back before it germinates or before it grows. Media practitioners must follow accuracy and ethics. Politicians must lead with humility and restraint. Actually, this is a very important point. And when we talk of politicians, don't look at us, don't look at me and those people sitting here. Every human being is a politician. Every human being is a politician. Don't say that I'm not a politician. It's a very good minute. You are part of it. So we must stand together. influence must use their platforms responsibly. As I am here today on this platform, whatever I talk here should be something that unites the people of South Sudan to live as one nation and one people. Any message besides that is unacceptable and must be fought by everybody. Citizens must think before they post. إنت لو كتبت حاجة عليك الله قبل ما تكتبه في السوشيال ميديا أقرأها مرتين ثلاثة. Is it positive or negative? The censorship must be done by everybody who wants to post anything in the social media. As I come to a close, I encourage all of us, leaders, citizens, and institutions to go beyond the painful divides, not by ignoring them, but by addressing them with courage and sincerity. ما نقول ما في انتصابات وما نجاهل إلا التقسيمات ده ما بيؤثر معنا. نواجه ما هي الأسباب التي تؤدي إلى تقسيمات في المجتمع. If we know them, we must not keep quiet. We must stand up and challenge ourselves. Because what we don't say from our hearts is what divides us. But if we vomit them out, and children of one family, then our house will be in order. Our country will be in order. Not by ignoring them, but by addressing them with courage and sincerity. لازم تكون في أمانة. يكون في ضمائر بيضاء بيننا الطلاب one another. In conclusion, I wish to reaffirm the commitment of the ICT and Postal Services Committee in the Parliament to continue working with all the stakeholders, government, media, civil society, and partners to ensure that our digital environment becomes safer, more productive, and more inclusive. We have made tremendous steps with the cybercrime bill, but our journey continues. Together we can build a country where information brings people together, not tearing them apart. And this is a very difficult task, by the way, to bring people together. We must start by ourselves as individuals. نحاسب ضمائرنا. We must count ourselves as individuals. Am I really worthy of talking to somebody that let us unite? But what I do is not unity. How can we bring that unity? Let us start by ourselves from this day onwards, in these 3 days, and as you go back to the state, please be the ambassadors. Be the ambassadors. With that, I have come to the end. I still want to emphasize on my first point, the message for you to carry from here in 2026, December. We may have many candidates in various constituencies. You know that these people who signed the agreement, they have agreed that we can put aside some of the articles in the access, talking about permanent constitution, talking about this. They have agreed on that, and we should still thank them that it is us South Sudanese who will enact our laws. We amend them for the betterment of South Sudan. Nobody will come from outside to tell us, no, you amend this part of the bill or the article in your constitution. We will do it ourselves as Southerners, and we move ahead together as Southerners. Presidential candidate is one. Others may come. The door is not closed. But ours is Salva Kiir Mayardit, the head of the Republic of South Sudan. I call upon you to back him in 2026 elections. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've made a return visit. Not sure Honorable Oliver Mori will be returning here to invite the Honorable Minister. But Honorable Minister, before we invite you, there is a time to weep, a time to laugh, a time to wail, and a time to dance. It's now a time to dance. They said we should praise and dance. The pastor, the bishop is here, he knows we do that. We have the Pojulu group who are coming to play a welcoming, we're going to dance to Pojulu. Pojulu? Oh, who is around now? Should I dance on their behalf? Huh? Male Magwar. All right, Ejini thing. We are going to be having the Male group dancing, and we know so many. All right, please, the Male group, prepare to come in. Oh, Pojulu did not turn up, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, Pojulu is around?
Yeah, they will come.
Oh, okay. So the Male group, ladies and gentlemen, are here to entertain us. And after the Male group, Honorable Oliver Mori will return to invite the Honorable Minister to give his remarks.
Yes, no coherent speech. And then we should create awareness, which is now you're doing. And also we need to have what we call peace education for everyone in South Sudan. And also we need to involve the political authority. Ma, the DJ, let's go. We are here in the name of
For those who are watching us right now, share the video.
Thank you.
We have to eliminate it. We have to reduce it. Thank you for inviting us for this conference, national conference, combating hate speech, which is too much in South Sudan. It is because of the conflict which has not been addressed. The more we go to our culture, the more we are safe. Let us work for very hard so that we go to the roots. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. A round of applause once more for the Male group. I think we have now come to the very momentous part of this function. Honorable Oliver Mori, may I kindly invite you back to the podium to perform an honorable duty. You know what you're going to be doing, Shukran.
I'm told here not to talk, but only to say, Honorable Minister of ICT and Postal Services, the guest of honor of this event, come to the podium, deliver your word, and declare this city's workshop open.
Honorable Oliver Mori, Benjamin, the Chair of the Specialized Committee on ICT and Postal Service in the National Legislative Assembly, Honorable Ali Elia, the MD of Media Authority, all the chairs of parastatals, honorable ministers, the representatives of the 10 state and the 3 administrative areas, that are represented by ministers of information, partners from journalists for human rights, members of the media, civil society, faith-based institutions, youth and women-led organizations, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Before I start my speech, let me tell you this information. In this very workshop, Honorable Adut Salva-Kiir Mayardit, the senior presidential envoy for a special program, was supposed to be here as the guest of honor. My role was to give the keynote speech, but because she could not come from Nairobi, as she thought to be here, processes, unit control kept her away, so she asked me to stand for her. So in this occasion, I'm doubling as the keynote speaker and the guest of honor. I would have been happy to see someone else becoming guest of honor, because you cannot be guest of honor in your own house. But let me do it as exceptional today. The norms cannot undo the exception. So it is an exception that I double as keynote speaker and at the same time the guest of honor. Let me also welcome my colleagues, the ministers of information from 10 states and the 3 administrative areas that has turned up in Juba to attend this very important workshop. I was only a bit disappointed because the 13, only 2 are females, 13 ministers, which means we have failed to uphold the affirmative action which we actually, as a stellar, we propose. I know President Salva-Kiir is a very gender sensitive man. I knew him since I worked with him for 9 years as a press secretary in the office of the president. He's a very gender sensitive, but the recommendation that came to his desk were from governors. So the governors are the one who failed to appoint the affirmative action by appointing men without appointing women. But I thank the governor of Jonglei States and the governor of Upper Nile States, because Union of Unity States, for appointing 2 young ladies. I want to tell you that I have recognized this, and we will work to ratify. The 35% of 13, for those who are mathematically inclined, is 4.55, which means 5. Because you cannot divide a 1 with this person with 55. 8.55, you must force it to be 1. Unless if it was 45, you can force it to 0. So it is 5. 5 should have been ministers who are female in order for us to uphold the 5% of affirmative action. It is my honor and privilege to join you today at this important national conference on combating hate speech and strengthening social cohesion in South Sudan. Allow me to begin by commending the media authority in collaboration with Journalists for Human Rights and with the support of the government and the people of Canada for convening this timely and necessary dialogue under the themes beyond the fateful divide. These themes speak directly to our collective responsibility as a nation, emerging from years of conflict and working towards lasting peace, unity, and reconciliation. Here to speak, whether expressed in public spaces, through traditional media, or across digital platforms, poses a serious threat to social harmony, national cohesion, and peace-building efforts. Words are power. They can heal or harm, unite or divide, build or destroy. In a diverse society such as ours, irresponsible communication can easily inflame tensions and undermine the gains we have made towards stability. At the same time, the media remains one of the most powerful instruments for national unity, public education, and informed discourse. When guided by professionalism, ethics, and responsibility, the media becomes a pillar of peace rather than a source of division. As government, we recognize that freedom of expression is a constitutional right that must be protected. However, this freedom must be exercised responsibly and in a manner that promotes coexistence, respect, and national interest. The Ministry of Information, Communication Technology, and Postal Services will continue to safeguard a media environment that upholds professional standard, encourage responsible communication, and strengthen social cohesion. As we confront the challenge of hate speech, our response must be comprehensive, balanced, and forward-looking. This requires strengthening institutional coordination so that relevant authorities are empowered to investigate and address hate speech incidents, whether they occur online or in public spaces in accordance with the law and due process. At the policy level, government will continue to explore appropriate frameworks, including the possibility of a structured coordination mechanism to guide prevention, response, and accountability while safeguarding freedom of expression and maintaining social harmony. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, equally important is prevention. We must invest in nationwide awareness and sensation initiatives reaching communities at the grassroots, within government institutions, and among intellectuals, opinion leaders, youth and women. Changing narratives and mindset is as important as enforcing regulations. In addition, in this digital age, we must enhance our capacity to responsibly monitor media spaces identify harmful content early, counter disinformation, and promote credible peace-building narratives. Working closely with media, practitioners, civil society, and relevant technology stakeholders. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, this conference is particularly significant because it brings together voices from all 10 states and the 3 administrative areas, alongside national institutions and partners. Such inclusivity ensures that the recommendations emerging from this forum are grounded in our realities and reflect our shared aspiration as South Sudanese. I therefore encourage all participants to engage openly, exchange experiences, and propose practical and actionable recommendations that will inform policy, guide media practice, and empower communities to reject hate speech in all its forms. Let us move beyond the painful divide of our past and choose dialogue over hostility, responsibility over recklessness, and unity over division. The future of South Sudan depends not only on our laws and institutions, but also on the word we speak and the messages we amplify. Before I end my speech, please allow me to give a response or to reiterate the position that was expressed earlier by the head of civil society organization, the head of CIFO, Edmund Yakani, a friend of mine, that myself, I was in the civil society, we were together, so I came from there, I can affirm that. I came from civil society background to the government in 2013. He actually highlighted what gives rise to hate speech. Because our traditional societies, each society has its own way of doing things. Sometimes you undermine your neighbors who are from different tribes. You can call them names. Like the word Yamya, which is referred to certain segment of our society. The word Do, which also refers to the same. The word Yamye, on the other side, the word Bicho, which is done to describe the Luo group in Baragada, and all the other undermining names, which the owners of those names did not even agree to accept as how they should be referred to. And all hate speech, they can amount to hate speech. So, in Arabic, for those who speak Arabic, the Arab consider anyone who is not an Arab as an Ajam. An Ajam meaning non-Arab. So any words that is not Arabic, you are not supposed to write it correctly. You can write it any way you want. Simply because it doesn't represent the Arab, unless it is an Arab word. That's why you go to something called al-Mujal al-Muzik, for those who know Arabic. If you find a word written in 5 or 10 letters, take the first letter from the beginning. If it gives you a name, it gives you a meaning, then it is an Arabic language. It is Arabic. If you take a letter from the last, it will give you a meaning until you come to the last letter, which connotes that letter itself. So in Arabic, there is nothing that cannot have meaning if it is real Arabic and written in Arabic. Whenever you take words, you take letters from it, it will still bring a meaning. Now, when we were part of Sudan, all the languages spoken in Sudan were called Rutana. Only Arabic was language. It was also a Hindi speech. Simply because whoever God has created to speak is speaking the language. It is one thing not to know the language, but it is another to say he is not speaking the language. Rutana, in Arabic language, this is the language of birds. That is the Rutana. How can you put Rutana to be spoken by people? So we need to deviate completely from all this to avoid anything that will harm our own self when it is ours or ourselves who are doing it. Now, there is something I've been saying. I said time and again. I said, while in urban, while in the village, your neighbor is your relative. In the village. Your neighbor that whose house is about 2 kilometers away is also a distant relative. So, when you look at the composition of the village, it differs completely from urban centers. In the village, a fact that is going to a Lear house passes through my house. A fact that is going to the house of professor passes through my house or through his house. So, in that environment, there is a certain way of living there because you are blood related. When you come to urban center, which is completely opposite to that, then you come, you are living in Murabarba, like myself, Udele Murabarba. Then my neighbor is not from a will. Could be from Maridi. Could be from Yambio. The road going to his house is not passing through my house. There are roads clearly marked. Even in the map, when you look at the Google map, you see the road. That's when I have come to live in town, then I have to think that I have actually left the environment where relatives stay close together. Now I'm coming to where many people stay in one locality, but they are not related. So I must come and look for commonality. If I fail to do so, and continue with my village organization in town, it's a huge secret. Because you cannot come out from it. Where will you get the commonality? You cannot live in the United States of America, you are still a member of your village. Back to home. Because as I'm living in Gudele Murawapa, the Bakak man, the Mangayat man who is actually a woman that is living closer to me, I have to look for the commonality that will bind us together. The commonality will be, maybe we are looking for clean water. The freedom of association under Article 25 of the Constitution gives us right to associate so that we can go and look for clean water from the government. That is the commonality. We are looking for hospital. There is no hospital within that area. Look also for the like-minded. You associate with them. But how do you associate with your family now back home to give you hospital in Cuba? A big man must remain a big man if you wanted to continue. If you wanted to participate in the process of nation building, you must remain a big man. That is what you understand. When you come to town, make sure you have what make others to believe in you as a citizen. And you know, all the citizens must be responsible citizens. Anything less than that, you are not a responsible citizen. If you are not a responsible citizen, then you are as non-existent citizen completely. In town, the law recognizes you as a person. Like me, the law recognizes me as a person. Inuka can confirm this. My children are not protected through me. They have their own protection. Isn't it? So those who are lawyers here among you, And this is the basic thing. If my children are not protected through me, then they are also individuals. If they are individuals, how do I set up an organization to protect a child? Well, there is something called government that protects people. I know the association people should make, it should be a political association or communal association. Communal association is like the one I told you. You want to associate with the members from different tribes so that your voice is heard, because a voice of one person cannot be heard. But if you have many voices, the government can hear you, and then government gives you what you people are actually looking for. If you do that, you will even help us from it. There would be no even hate speech. Because hate speech is how is there in the village. When I was growing up, I know the Dinka or Yen have this, which is close to Arabic. They think Dinka language is spoken. It's only the Dinka language and the Nuer language are the only language that are spoken. The rest, people are talking. People talk about them. This is the assumption of a belief man. That's why there is a difference between Jam for those who are actually Dinka here. If I am speaking Dinka, then I am talking. And Jam. When my neighbor, who is a Luo, is speaking Luo language, then Kabul is actually talking. He's not speaking. Because the only language is spoken is Dinka. Did you see the assumption? If we take that assumption here, we will be having problems all the time. Because all humans are equal before the law, and they are equal before the government. There's nobody is better than the other. If you think you are better than the other, you are wasting your time. So these are simple things that I wanted to give you so that you will learn them and you continue to explore whether the action that are giving rise to hate speech. Finally, before I close, I want to share this experience that happened some few days ago. And thank God, the Minister of Information and Women Administrative Area is here. Government, ladies and gentlemen, the government communication must be harmonized from top to the bottom. If you find anything being done by the Ministry of ICT and Postal Service, the best thing for you is to make confirmation. Code. You can call. I treat you, all of you, as my colleagues. If you call me, like the only Minister of Information that came to my office is the Minister of Information in Jonglei. What's Jonglei? What's the Jonglei said? Came to my office. All of you, you are actually living far away. Maybe you will seek to come. Okay? Maybe you will seek time to come to my office, which is open to you 24/7. So, communication of the government must be coordinated so that it cannot result into a hate speech. You know, we can make easy speech like Professor Dr. Isaiah. He said it clearly. None of us is immune from making, from making hate speech, because hate speech can result out of words. I said it here in my speech. Words, particularly words that are spoken not in our mother tongue, because we are all words in our own languages. Like now, if I'm speaking Dinka, I cannot even offend anyone. But I cannot guarantee if I cannot offend anyone if I speak in Arabic or English. Because the magnitude of my linguistic ability cannot be the same as my mother tongue. You call mother tongue because mother is the only one that is more related to you than anyone else. If she dies at your antenatal age, at her antenatal age, she will die together with you. If she dies after you are born, then you will say, thank God my mom died when I was being delivered. And you will be called a case in those languages of of Nilox. Somebody that came and his mother or her mother died. I'm saying this because I want us to communicate effectively so that our communication doesn't give rise to dispute. Last time when I was doing a press conference, I made what is called an inadvertent mistake, of which everybody is capable of doing. Because we are human beings. We can talk about maybe there are two who came in form of human being, or three that cannot make mistakes. That is Prophet Moses, Jesus Christ, and Prophet Muhammad. They don't make mistakes. These are the only three human beings that are allowed to have not made any mistake. But the rest of us, including bishops, and even high bishops, even the Pope, made lots of mistakes. And then now look at the mistakes. Whether is it advertent or inadvertent. When I was referring to Panapat, I was referring to Panapat as a greater unity state in which the ruling administrative didn't belong some years back. I wasn't doing it intentionally to give any area to another place. I cannot have that intention. And the communities in South Sudan knows me. I'm on record because I've been speaking in many communities, organizations, and they know me. I don't take sides in any conflict. So it was an inadvertent mistake. But the statement you wrote, Mr. Minister, was very serious. I think you did not even think that you also belong to me and I belong to you. I want all the ministers of information, I know the pressure you people are in. Because if you don't do that, maybe your governor will see you like you are not fit to do it. But when you are doing it, and there are something that you don't understand, contact my minister. Because I said this, all the media, anybody who is doing with communication in government, and even the media who are even independent, I said to the European Union ambassador last time that under me as a minister of ICT and postal science, there will be no harassment. Because I said I am driving a vehicle, which I can't care about how it was driven. I don't care about how it was driven, but I care about how am I driving. All of you are drivers, but you have not been asked to drive. So please be with me in the car. If you got yourself to advise me as a driver, tell me before I step on the foot car. Because if you tell me after I actually see the foot on this cross, I will crack that foot roll. I will not allow myself to stop. I cannot stop at the speed. So I want to say let's work collaboratively to combat hidden speed in South Sudan. The security sector, including the army, the police, the national security, okay, the correctional service, conservation and tourism, waters, and all those who are actually armed. We must work together to ensure we make this country a place for all of us to live in respect. Because some of our neighbors are even losing respect on us because they think we are just doing things naturally. But we want to prove that we are not going to respond to the heat to speak to some individuals that are referring to us as if we don't even exist. We will not do it through heat, but we have to do our thing, organize our house so that someone who sees us from far who doesn't know the details about us can give us respect. And we enjoy that respect after because it is important that somebody else must know who you are, or what you represent. Like now, I cannot just come and sit here. Okay, if the Minister of ICT was introduced, and then a lot who just appeared from nowhere, you will be running out. You will be running to the house. Unless there is a personality attached to that being minister. And this is what I've been saying to people. Media, and I want to say, Mr. Ministers and Madam Minister of Information, you are the protector of the media in your own state. As I protect the media here, you protect the media in your own state. Make sure the journalists are not harassed. Because if you do so, you will receive a very good report from international partners. I said the Minister of Information, Communication Technology and Postal Service is the dentist for the journalists. Provided I only receive the journalists who have not broken the law. Your Excellency, the duty ambassador. If you have broken the law, your best place is the Inuka site. And also, if Inuka could not take you to court, this is where I will come in and ask why. Because anyone who has broken the law must be taken to court of law, so the competent court of law, so that they are tried. So, protect journalists is your main mandate, to protect the journalists. If I receive a complaint that a journalist is harassed in the watchful eye of a Minister of Information of so and so, I would be forced to talk to your governor. Say, your minister doesn't know what he is doing. In as much as others will do it, if I don't do it, people will go to President Kiir and say, Kanye is not doing this right. And then we see the results. What is going to be the result? I said, last time to my friend Wani is there sitting there. Wani, can you get up? Yeah. This Wani, sit. Lako, yeah. Lako was in charge of the media that comes to the office of the president when I'm calling for a press conference. And I told him something he still keeps up to today. I said, Lako, a media personnel or a journalist will go out in the morning from his house to look for information. That information is where he gets food to feed his children. So he will come and harass him, so he will go back to the city right. So that is the information you give him. You have given him information without even knowing you gave the information. When you see tomorrow in the newspaper that Minister so-and-so or General so-and-so has harassed journalists yesterday during the press conference in the office of the president, you will say, oh, they did not consult me. Why do they consult you? They cannot. Because you already gave them information that doesn't need even verification. If information that is verified is the information that a journalist has obtained through other sources, and they wanted to balance their story before they publish it, so they will call the institution concerned to confirm it. Like when I was called, okay, to confirm whether there is a tripartite agreement between Sudan, okay, and South Sudan, and the RSF process. The two Sudan, or let's say Sudan, okay, but the two commanders, the two heads of the fighting, fighting in Sudan. That is the Supreme Council leader of the Fatah Quran and the RSF commander, General Mamman Bidu. I confirmed there was tripartite to protect the oil sector. So when you get information through other sources, you verify it. And I know there is something called priming in news. Any journalist, if you get information, you run with the information so that you are the first to actually send that news. But while you are running on your way, make sure that you contact the other side, those who are also involved. So with this remarks, I wish you faithful deliberation and hereby declare this 3 days national conference official over. Thank
you. Honorable Minister, thank you for opening these 3 days. We are very grateful.